Hello guys, so in this video we are going to work on these two, set the degree and the coefficients of the polynomial. So without wasting time, let's dive into code. So basically this one you can put a space here so that the menu can be in uniform when you are printing. So you're going to set the degree. Setting the degree, we have this degree here and the coefficients. So the degree, we have to request the user to enter the degree of the polynomial. On the coefficients, we are going to enter the coefficients according to the degree provided here. So the first we are going to set the degree, then we are going to set the coefficient. You can't set the coefficient first, then set the degree. So that's how the program is going to work. So we have first to collect. If user tries to enter the coefficient before the degree, user will be requested to enter the degree of the polynomial first. So we are going to that for degree. Let's see. Let's start with the degree here, option 1. So for entering the degree, we are going to request the user to enter the degree values. So input, let's define a variable degree, which is going to be an input from the user, which we're going to request the user enter or the input the degree. Put the degree value like that. Then we are going to convert this value in, because it's a string, we are going to convert it into an integer. We need it as an integer. So then we are going to set that value. So here we are going to call the set the degree, then we are going to pass we are going to pass the value which is the degree. So previously we had not set we had not set the method set degree to receive the values, but we set it here. So we had just defined the method. So in this method we are going to train it to accept the value. So it's going to accept the value which is going to be degree here. So then when it gets the degree, it's going to set it on the degree of the polynomial. So we are going to pass the degree as an argument in the method set degree. So this method is now going to set the degree here, self dot degree. This one we defined here. So now it's not going to be 0, it's going to be degree, which is the second argument for the parameter for the function. So like that we are going to set the degree. So as you can see, that's how you do it. So the other thing you're going to do is now the set the coefficients, the option 2. So if coefficient here, if the degree is 0, that means the degree is not set. So we are first going to check if the self.degree is 0. If it's 0, we are going to request the user to enter the degree first. But if degree is greater than 0, so the user is given the go ahead now to set the coefficients according to degree. So if self dot degree equals 0, we are going to ask the user, please input the degree value first. Yeah, like that. Else if degree is greater than the value now, else now that means that the value is no, we cannot, if the value is, maybe now if the degree is is greater than, no, is less than or equal to 0. Yeah, the degree is less than or equal to 0, we are going to ask the user to enter the degree first. When the degrees has been set, or if the degree is not less than or equal to 0, then we are going to call the method set coefficient. So we are going to call the method set coefficient, which will do the rest of the work for setting the coefficient. So we go ahead to setting the coefficient. So set coefficient. So here, before you set the coefficient, what you are going to do, we are going to define another attribute of the class, or the variable which will hold the polynomial function, the function itself. So let's define it here. Let's add it here on the top, self dot poly function, polynomial function, which is going to be an empty string, like that. So here we are going to come here, now setting the coefficient. We are going to set the coefficient, so we are going to loop through the range of the degree, because now we have the degree value. Remember, I explained that to set the coefficient you have to have the degree. So the degree, if the value of a degree is 3, meaning the coefficients we are going to ask for the use from the user will be the degree value plus 1. So we are going to ask the user to enter 4 values according to the degree. So the loop here is to ensure the user enters the values according to degree value that he or she entered before. So the age, we are going to start from 1, then the degree value here is self dot degree plus 1, like that. So we are going to ask the user. So here we are entering the coefficient. So that's the input which you are going to ask the user. Input the coefficient of degree. So degree 1, 2, 3, or degree from the first term, second, third, up to 0, because the coefficient are decreasing according to degree value. If degree has a value of 3, so the coefficient will be the first term, which is 3, 2, 1, 0, like that. So we are going to ask the user to enter the value of the coefficient of degree 3, 2, 1, up to the last value of the degree. So let's do that. So let's go ahead and ask the user to enter the degrees. So input the coefficient of degree. So we are going to use that according to the values entered here. So self dot degree plus 1 minus I. You see how that going to work. Here we can pass f, like that. Yeah. Then when user enters the value, this value is supposed to be converted into an integer, like that. So the other thing we are going to do now, when you get the value, you are going to add it into the coefficient list, the self dot coefficient. So we are going to add the value into the coefficient. So self dot coefficient, yes, dot append. We are going to append the coefficient, like that. So then we are going to create that polynomial function. So let's define it as fx, which is going to be a string, because it's a string. So the first we are going to do, because we are passing from the first term to the last term, so we are going to convert all those. So we are going to get the value we are adding up from this value here. Every value that will be entered here as a coefficient will be used to treat the polynomial function. So we are going to convert to get the first coefficient will be like that. Then you are going to add the x to power 4, like that. The power of this will be the degree. Now we are going to use the value of the degree, this value here. This represents, for example, we are starting with 3. Here we are starting with 3. So 3, which is the value of the degree, it's going like this. Now how the fx will look like. For example, the first one will be x to power 3. This is a power, like that, plus x to power 2 plus x plus x to power 1, which is x, and the other one is 0, which doesn't, in this case, doesn't make sense. So yeah, now we are going to set this, the coefficient we are asking the user to set. For example, the first one will be 5, 5x to power 3. Maybe the second one here, the user enters 2, this one maybe enters 3, and the last one enters, example, 9. So let's use this to create now these effects here. So the the coefficient that the user enters here will be used to create the term for the effects. This is the term, first term, second term, third term, fourth term. So we are going to use the coefficient. This is the coefficient that the user enters. Okay, then x value, this x to power is represented in node, because even the one that will be having to power 1 will be considered here. So x to power 3, this is like x to power 1, like that. This is x to power 0, which is same as 1. So that's why hidden is at as 9. So like that. So this is how we are going to do it. So the coefficient that the user enters, then plus x to power, then we are going to get the degree. So the degree is this one here. Self dot degree plus 1 minus I is like this. The first degree here will be the self dot degree is 3 if a user enters the degree as 3. So plus 1, which means it's 4, minus I. So we are going to decrease it like that, because the loop we're going to start from 1, 2, 3, like that. 1, 2, 3, because it's not going to give us 4. It's not going to give us 4 here. So it's going to read from 1 to 3. You see? Yeah, the last one will not be used on this. We will ask this in a different way, because we don't want to print a polynomial function with 9 to power 9x to power 0. So the last term of the coefficient will be asked outside of this row. So we are just creating this one, the ones with the powers that are not to power 0. So we are asking for these ones 4, 3, 2, like that, or 3, 2, 1. Then this one will be 0. So we are going to ask for that. So we go on. So this one, the degree will be represented as string again, string. So this is supposed to be converted into a string because it's an integer. It's just creating the polynomial. This is just for displaying. We are not going to use this polynomial when we define it here. It's just for displaying the polynomial function that will be created according to the value we are entering. So the other string now is the degree, self dot degree plus 1 minus I, then plus for the other. Then we are going to use that effects to add it to our self dot poly function. When you do this, you are going to understand it when you are doing it. Basically here I'm just explaining, but when you do it, you are going to understand it. So basically the best thing to run programming is to read and do something so that you can improve on your knowledge. So we are done on this. Now we are asking for the last part. So this will be asked outside the loop, like this. So the last term is equals to same thing or enter or input the coefficient of degree 0, like that. This one here, we don't want it to give us with x to power 0. That's why we asked for the last term and the last part. But you can do it in a different way. It just doesn't mean that the way I'm doing it is the only way. You can do it, the coding, you can do it in many ways that they want. So self dot coefficient, we are going to append it again. We are going to append this last term, append this one. So basically what we are appending to the coefficients are just the values that the user is entering. Those are the values that we are appending to the list So we are not entering this fx or this term. We are just entering this 5, 2, 3, 9. Those are just the values that we are entering on our list. So these values we will use them when we are plotting the function, plotting the polynomial function using the matplotlib. So we are appending the last term. So then self dot poly function is equals to self dot so we will add this value of the function, then we are adding the last value of the term. So convert it into a string because we want the string like that. So maybe I can print this so that you can see. Print, we can print here, we can print we are going to print the polynomial function is it's going to give us this self dot poly function like that and you can use the next line. So then again you can print the list so that you can understand what I'm saying about the coefficients list. So let's print this list. Like that. So basically it's that simple. Like that. So we can print that and see whether our function is working correctly on the first and second option. Let us test the first and the second option. So I think we have done the job in a correct way before we test. So let's do the testing. We have some error here. So this is supposed to be defined as a string, this one, last one. So again, when you are doing programming, please you should accept that there is always be errors. An error doesn't mean you don't know what you are doing. Errors are just a way of us to learn. So basically, when you encounter these things, be encouraged because that's us all the time. So you can see like the certain mistakes I'm doing here. Let's go on. So let's clear those. So let's try to run the set the coefficients before the degree. Yeah, you can see print input the degree value first. So there are no coefficient. You can see the coefficient value wasn't set. If you have not set the degree. Again, I need this enter option being leave a space on the menu. Let's first do that. Need space like that. So let's go again. 5 quit clear. Let's run this again. Yeah, like that. This gap. So two, please input the degree value first. So let's set the degree. Input the degree value. So we can set it as 3. You see? Yeah. Put the degree value 3. So now let's try to set the coefficient. Again, I need this space after input the degree value. So we need that space. Create a space between this input the degree value and the menu. Let's perfect our code. Input the degree. So after this, we need print new line like that. So let's set input the coefficient of degree 3. Yeah, 5 like we have done. To the degree, the input the coefficient of degree 1, like we can give it 7. Input the coefficient of degree 2, can give it 9. You can see That is it. The polynomial function is. You can see that's how I was demonstrating. In this what I was saying, the coefficient list is this. You can see. Now these are the values that we are going to use to create the values for plotting the graph. So, and that's the end of the this part of the video on the set the degree and set the coefficient of the polynomial function. So in the next video we are going to do the set the domain that the plot the polynomial function, and that will be the end of this tutorial series on the polynomial function in Python. So keep log. Thank you.